What's up, everybody? YouTube. Who that? I told y'all didn't win. I was off by the numbers, but or whatever. Win is a win. Even as it was low scoring as it was. But welcome to Gavin Reshaw presents. Uh, Today is September the. Let's see. I'm sorry. September 10th. Yeah, September 10th on a Friday. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Or they should call it TGIPC. Thank God I got a paycheck. That doesn't work there because I screwed up the letters, but yeah, you get it. uh, Today I wanted to talk about something different. I wanted to update you all on something. I remember a couple of months back, or a month or two ago, I did a video with a guy who said he saw a map of New Orleans. But I had a chance to ran into him again sometime last month while at work, and he told me something else about that map. That it wasn't. I said on the YouTube video that it was 4 months prior to Katrina that he saw this, or it was listed 4 months prior to that. But according to him, he said it wasn't 4 months. It was actually 7 years. 7 years prior to Hurricane Katrina, and this would be about 1998. If anyone knows what happened during 1998, there was another hurricane that almost struck New Orleans named George. But George did not even come close. It only got to the mouth of the river in Louisiana and then stalled and then did something no hurricane has ever done. As it stalled there, just sat and waited. We could feel the outer bands because I stayed during that storm. It moved upward to Mississippi and Alabama. And as it got over Mississippi and Alabama, it got stationary again and went back south. So as it was moving across land, somehow or another decided to change its mind and go back into the Gulf of Mexico and just sat there again. And then went up again to Alabama and the Mississippi borderline. No hurricane has ever done that in history. In web, in meteorology, no hurricane has ever done that in history. In weather, it was just odd. And what's important, though, getting back to the origins, what this guy said about the map in 1998. That would mean if he saw this, because he said it was from the northeast, everything south of the Industrial Canal to the northeast, which would be New Orleans East, that entire area, including Pontchartrain Park, New Orleans East, the Lower Ninth Ward, was all gone. It was all green. So it proves, based on his testimony, or what he was saying, based on what he witnessed, because he got this map from a gentleman who I won't name, this would mean that they were actually eyeing the land of Louisiana for a long, long time. And Hurricane Katrina was just the patsy, if you would say, for them to get what they wanted. Now, a lot of people might say, well, how can you say that? How can you say there's a conspiracy to take the land after all the people are moving back? Wouldn't they claim like a great won't they say something like the environment is too bad or keep people out if there was really a conspiracy? Well, no. What you do in a conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take land and take away the people's property, is discourage them. You discourage them but not reopening a hospital like Methodist. You discourage them from not opening Charity Hospital, which is downtown New Orleans, which have the only mental health care facility in the city of New Orleans. You know what the healthcare facility now in New Orleans is? Orleans Parish Prison. You discourage them by making charter schools and not reopening all the schools up. In Lower Ninth Ward, they had 5 schools. Only one has reopened, Martin Luther King Elementary. You discourage people by telling them you're going to reshore up the levees, yet we find out from documentaries the levees that they have are completely insignificant if another hurricane were to hit New Orleans. Though we all debate about how the flooding actually occurred. But nonetheless, you're discouraging people from coming back. The people that have come back in New Orleans East and the Lower Ninth Ward have come back uh, on their own willpower because they have money. Some of them don't, but they have money and the means to do that. Others do not. And another way you discourage them is you create a facility, you create an authority that's responsible for handing out money so people can rebuild, and then we find out later that it discriminates against blacks. This was the Road Home facility, LRA, the Louisiana Recovery Authority. This was their brainchild, and Road Home. We found out from the I've been on that, but the judge ruled that the Road Home discriminates against African Americans, which was no surprise. They want to take all the land. Now, even though he ruled in this decision, what he also said was that they're not going to give the money back or refinance refinance the disaster relief for those that were affected by this. So it's a win-lose situation for a lot of people. But that's what works in a conspiracy if you're trying to take the land. You don't encourage people by putting up more grocery stores or giving them a mall that we did have years ago that just somehow or another just closed down even before the storm even happened. So that's the result of a conspiracy to take the people's land. And if you want to keep people out, the best response is by doing nothing. Well, that is it for me. I wanted to share that information with you all, but from 1998, that's pretty shocking, and it really scares the hell out of me. But it encourages, but what it does show is that we need people of courage, we need people of understanding and strength in dark times so that we can deal with something like this. We cannot allow activities such as this to continue in our country and to affect our families and the lives of our children and grandchildren. In other words, people got to grow some balls. And I am encouraging the leaders of Louisiana that if you really want to rebuild New Orleans, don't just rebuild the parts that weren't even affected and use all the money for that. Rebuild everything that was damaged. Rebuild Lower Ninth Ward. Rebuild New Orleans East. Bring back the library that we had. Bring back the beautiful mall that we once had 20 years ago in the plaza. New Orleans Center too. Bring all of it back. If you're really serious and committed, you would do that. But guess what? We don't have people like that anymore. Prove me wrong. That's all I had to say for today, guys. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll be back with another video. Peace out.